ESPN. And walking down South Main today are the Connecticut Huskies, fresh off a big road win over Boston College. The Huskies can wrap up a bowl berth with a win today against Rice, coming off the bye and ready to go in this non-conference matchup.
Look at the impact players here. You have to have Parnham. Brian Parnham has to play well. He's well-traveled, but a really good player. And then Quentin Jackson, we talked about him in the open. He's a guy that needs to really step up for this offense.
Parham was the National Defensive Player of the Week after his 2-sack game against BC. Here's Jackson with his first carry. And he twists down to the 34, just a yard short of the first.
The key to this is getting them in the backfield. You don't want Quentin Jackson to get things going. There's a lot of eye candy they give you, but the one key thing is whoever has the ball, you need to make sure you secure that tackle. They're ahead of the chains, though, Ted, and that's what they talked a lot about, staying ahead of the chains. They hadn't played well on first and second in the last few weeks, and they really wanted to get back to that.
As you see the numbers on third down, it hasn't been great this year for Rice, but they certainly prefer third and short, and they convert with Jackson out ahead of the 40-yard line.
He talked about being a smaller in stature guy, so people sometimes take him for granted. But it was nice talking to him. You could tell that quiet confidence he had in his ability and what he does with this Rice offense.
Yeah, Jackson told us yesterday he feels pretty close to 100%. He was all kinds of banged up a couple of weeks ago against UTSA and had just 4 carries in that blowout. Jackson again with an alley, and it's closed off by Connecticut. Lee Millett III, the first-year starter at one of the safety spots, making the tackle after a gain of 2.
Really key guy for them in this 3-3-5 defense. You know, some people call it the nickel, some call it the safety, but whatever you call it, there's a guy that can come down the alley and make a play.
So 2nd and 8 for Rice. And now the pitch to Aaron Turner, the former Connecticut Husky. And Turner crosses the 45. But the spread option that Scott Abel has put in, you see all the options that he has to work with.
Option 1, a handoff. And then what you want to do is you want to be able to have a big play. And usually that's that belly, that fullback dive. And then you also have the ability to pitch. You fake the dive, and then you come outside. So you're kind of fooling that defense to keep them in. And then this last one is the keep. The keep is where you have a blocker in front of you and gives you a good chance to run the ball.
And a big play in the backfield, taken down. Dalen Alexander had no chance. Trent Jones II, the former Iowa State Cyclone, knocking him down, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, that was a really nice play, Ted, when you have a guy that can just find a way and not get blocked. Trent Jones, you know, transfer from Iowa State, really nice job there of coming in and just getting that nice tackle. Had 2 tackles last week, and he's really starting to come on now, play better for this defense.
Alex Paqueta is the punter for Rice. And over the head of Jackson Harper and into the end zone, a 56-yard punt. But a touchback, and Connecticut and Joe Fignano have the ball when we come back. To the air on 1st down, and he's got his top target, Skylar Bell, with room to roam. Bell, pedal to the floor, touchdown, 80 yards.
We talked about explosive plays. That's an explosive play, and that's what this Rice defense has been giving up, and that is what this UConn offense wants to get to. You're going to see the play fake there. You bring down everybody. It's a slant. If you don't have your guy, which the outside corner doesn't have, Skylar Bell is going to make you pay. And he's been playing better and better and better. Focus on catching the ball, but not only catching the ball, taking it to the house.
The stop on defense and the quick strike on offense. What a combination with UConn right back on the road. And here is Chris Freeman, the 6th-year senior, for the extra point. Jim Mora, UConn's coach, told us this week, can we continue this streak? Can we keep it rolling? So far, so good for UConn here in Houston. Turn the corner, drop for a loss, back to the 16.
Yeah, and I think what they like about him, Ted, is that he's just getting better and better. You know, sometimes when guys are really good, they're Blitnikoff watch list, they're all of those things, but they don't keep getting their talent and pushing it more, and that's what you hear about them.
Fake it to Edwards this time. And back to Bell. Fignano hooks up with him. And Skylar Bell out of bounds, close to the marker. A gain of 11. Buck, let's check out your impact players when UConn has the ball.
Yeah, Skylar Bell, you got to say, is the guy that has to make plays. He's already shown up. Andre Awe is also another guy that is really, really critical for Rice, a linebacker who flies all over the field. He was a walk-on cornerback, became a safety and a linebacker. He can do it all, and he's really, really smart as a player.
Just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger and better and better and better.
Stayed athletic, too. That's what they love.
3rd and a yard. Feed it to Edwards. He's stacked up.
Really good defense by Rice right there. You need a confidence booster. That's one right there. When you have a defense that's given up a lot of points and yards, Joe Chavez is one of those guys that they said had to play well from the Viper position. That sounds like a hitter, right? A Viper. Well, he gets in there and makes a play, and look what happens. You're forcing UConn to punt. Ted, sometimes football can be grimy and tough. That's what Rice has to figure out how to turn this game into.
Connor Stutz lifts it. And the fair catch for Rice, and Tyson Thompson just inside the 30, a 45-yard punt. Well, Rice has it back. They've picked up a couple of first downs, but they've punted twice to start. Has won everywhere he's been, and at places that historically have not won, whether it's Division III, Washington and Lee in Virginia, or Davidson in the FCS. His latest challenge is Rice.
Yeah, he talked a lot about that yesterday, about the ability to, once you start doing it, people start looking for you as the fix-it guy.
This certainly is a program that needs repair. Rice has the ball back, and they've got Chase Jenkins on the ground. Takes a big shot after the gain of 10. Tyrese Mills, the 5th-year senior from Philadelphia, bringing the lumber.
Yeah, Tyrese Mills comes up, but good blocking on the interior, and Chase Jenkins with a nice job of just finding that hole. You're going to get a big hit, but really good run and setting up a 2nd and short.
Jenkins to throw down the seam. He's got his tight end, Micah Barnett, into UConn territory inside the 35. A gain of 29. That's Barnett's first catch of the season.
What did Coach say? We want to get the tight ends involved, and now they are. Because when you do all that running on the inside, it gets those linebackers' eyes. What did Matt Brock say? Eye transfer? They didn't transfer well there. And huge play by Micah Barnett.
You can see how this triple option attack out of the spread can stress a defense. On 1st down, back to the ground.
Ted, the biggest difference so far in this drive is that they're staying positive on 1st down. The tackles for loss kills a triple option team or any running team. But if they're getting positive yards here each time, that sets them up for really good success.
Like Abel told us yesterday, I want this offense to be the one that nobody wants to face. It's just gonna take some time.
Yeah, they have things in, but they still know that there's more that they can do and other wrinkles that they can add as these guys really get familiar with it.
And they hand it to Landon Ransom Goals, the receiver who is returning from injury. His first carry of the season, and a nice gain to bring up 3rd and short.
Great ball skills by Chase Jenkins. The real key with option football, I don't care what's happening in front, it's when you can hold that ball to the last second, because it makes those linebackers and ends pause before they can go and decide what they need to do.
3rd and a yard. UConn, one of the best 3rd down defenses in the nation, ranking 14th in the country. Now trouble with the snap. It's picked up, though, by Jackson, and he's wrestled down in the backfield. A fortunate bounce for Rice. Jackson does recover it, but it brings up 4th down.
Jenkins never got the ball clean, and Jackson right in position to make a play. Ball hits him in the hands, and he doesn't field it cleanly, but Jackson was Johnny on the spot. Former quarterback himself, so look at him. He knows, I got to go get the ball, and finds it and just tries to get whatever he could out of it.
Rice aggressive here, going for it, 4th down in this part of the field. They need 2. It's Jackson with the 1st down inside the 20-yard line.
From a confidence standpoint, Ted, this is what this offense needs, and it's your best defense against that other offense on the other side. And they're starting to go with tempo, which can tire these defensive linemen out.
Scott Abel said that he would try to sprinkle that in some more today, and it's more Quentin Jackson on 1st down.
Down to the 16.
Quentin Jackson is just something to behold. I mean, usually you have those fullbacks on the interior running. He doesn't mind getting in there, and he'll mix it up. Business management major, but a tough guy on the football field. Not real boisterous, but when he talks, it's like E.F. Hutton. Everybody around here listens.
And at 5'7", he says he hears a lot of trash talk. He says, I know when I have to respond. 8th play of the drive. Jenkins on the keeper. And Jenkins down in the pile with a gain of 2 to bring up 3rd down and 5.
What this does is it keeps the ball away from your offense, and it gives you a chance to allow your defense to get some rest, because they've had a lot of injuries on their defense as well. But it puts UConn in a position where every time they come out, they feel like they have to have a big play or have an explosive. And it limits you because they're keeping this ball and controlling the clock.
Now can they convert on 3rd and 5? They have strung together a nice drive to this point, and Rice has to call a timeout.
They're usually losing game captains.
Game losing streak entering today. And now out of the timeout, 3rd and 5 for the Owls. The triple option. The flip to Turner, who slipped. It rained earlier today. Shouldn't be a problem on the turf here at Rice Stadium. But Aaron Turner, facing one of his former schools in UConn, lost his footing.
Antonio Harris Jr., number 58, is going to do a really nice job of keeping the edge. Look at him, keep it contained, so he forces everything back into his buddies. That's what you're supposed to do against option football. Very good job of reading his keys there.
Enoch Goda from 38 yards officially knocks it through, and Rice is on the board. So Rice does pay off that nice drive with points. Jim Moore is in year 4 leading Connecticut. He called it the Husky Revolution when he took over a program that really was a doormat, and he's turned it into.
They do. I mean, they're just playing hard. We're playing hard. It's going to be a good game.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.
Yeah, Jim Moore's team has been in a few of those this year. They're a couple of plays away from being 7-0. 2 overtime losses to Syracuse and Delaware.
Yeah, they talked a lot about that. Like, they felt like they're getting better, but not quite where they need to be. But there were some things that they look back and say, man, if we had a play here or a play there, it could be a whole lot different.
I mean, it's been a special year for Connecticut. Just imagine what it could be if those results went the other way. To start the second quarter, the swing pass to Victor Rosa. Rosa playing a bigger role after Mel Brown went down with a broken collarbone in week 3. It'll be 3rd and 2.
And that's what he does well, catching the ball out of the backfield. The other thing is with all of the openings now, that makes a guy like Jim Mora more attractive. I'm not taking anything away from UConn. I want him, if he wants to stay there forever, let him. But you know, with the way things are now in the P4 conferences, especially as they have openings, and he's had experience there and in the NFL, they're going to have to do what they need to do to keep him at UConn.
Huskies need 2 on 3rd down. And Fignano connects with Murphy for the first.
See, it's those kind of things there. You see the big home run plays, but it's just the ones that move the sticks. Guy turns his numbers right back to Fignano. He pops it right into him, keeps the chains alive. And this is what Rice has to do now. You see tempo coming from UConn.
Fake the toss, Fignano a laser, and it's too low, incomplete. Intended for Juice Vereen, the tight end, who had a career day against Boston College last week. The 2 touchdowns, the first of his career.
Kid out of Havelock, North Carolina State transfer, ball a little too low. The other thing what tempo does is it doesn't allow you to come with those fire blitz and zone blitzes that you want to do if you're Rice.
And Rice is still undermanned on defense. Even if they've gotten a few pieces back from injury, Rosa hit right at the line by Blake Banish, the enormous nose tackle. Let's pick up a couple there. Kyrie Crump, the corner, suspended after an altercation with officials 2 weeks ago against UTSA. He's away from the program right now, and Rice might not get back Michael Daly, their best pass rusher, because of an injury.
But that allows guys like Banish, who now is starting to really turn the corner. Powerlifting champion, really strong. He showed you there. Violent hands and gets to the guy.
So 3rd and 8. Rice, one of the worst 3rd down defenses in the nation. In fact, tied for 3rd worst in FBS. Here comes the blitz. Fignano escapes. And Fignano chased to the boundary by Ty Morris. 4th down.
Good job, Ted, by the secondary of holding, but also look at them coming with pressure like they said they would to get Fignano off a schedule and off a platform. Nice job by this Rice defense. John Kay said, look, we can do this. We just got to get our guys to believe, and they got healthy guys coming back. That was a really nice job by this Rice defense there.
And we talked with Ty Morris, who made that play on Fignano yesterday. Said, we are itching to show that physicality really is a pillar of our defense. Morris showed that right there on the edge. And Rice will have the ball back after the 50-yard punt. Down 7-3 to UConn at home.
Self-scout, and you make sure you're ready for the next week. That was a really nice drive by this offense. Let's see if they can put another one together.
Jenkins all alone in the gun here. Another unique look from the spread option. He throws it out to Quentin Jackson. And Jackson gets smashed after a gain of about 3.
Both of these are physical football teams, but it was interesting to hear Scott Abel talk about his genesis of this offense. Sauces in that gum.
Jenkins carries in Virginia.
Once they learn the tendencies when they get to this level, it just takes them another step.
3rd down and 3. Jackson squirts through the hole to the 2nd level. Quentin Jackson had a school record kick return touchdown against UConn last year. He goes the distance this year. It's a touchdown. 73 yards.
I can't say enough about Quentin Jackson and his ability and how hard and tough he runs. But it's just that fight, and that's what gets this team charged up. Okay, look on the inside. He's running here, you think he's stopped, right? He breaks through those tackles and then has another guy to beat and says, okay, you're going to come and catch me, but I don't think so because I'm fast enough to pull away from you as well, Pringle. I'm in the house. Great job, great hustle by Lee Mollett and Devin Pringle, but excellent opportunity to score by Quentin Jackson.
And the turf angel to finish it off. Rice has its first lead here today.
Yeah. You have a guy that can run the ball, this is what you want. Run through tackles, keep on running. Where you going, young man? Take it down I-10. Why don't you just keep going to Beaumont, Texas? Because the way you run in that rock is the way what Rice needs.
To share with his nephew after today.
I said, what'd you do? He said, I got a lot of rest.
Vignano on the move. And over the head of Rosa, incomplete.
Again, behind the chains. This is what the UConn offense is not really accustomed to doing. They're playing in the last few weeks when they've been winning in their 4-game win streak of staying ahead of the chains and really moving. 170.6 yards per game rushing, only 5 today.
Oh, we asked Jim Mora, what's the next step for this team? It's about staying consistent. Yeah, okay, you beat a power conference team on the road last week. Keep it up. Don't falter after a big win. Facing a deficit now, Vignano underneath, and the pass is caught. And it'll bring up 3rd down and 8.
Ted, you bring up a really good point, because if you watch that tape of UTSA, as a human, you would say, oh, we got this game, right? This is a totally different Rice team with 3 offensive linemen back, defensive guys back. You can see the energy level, and they're really playing a different ball game than what I watched on tape.
Third and 8. And Vignano's pass is tipped at the line.
So what you're taught to do as a defensive lineman is you rush, and if you can't get there, you put that hand up and knock the ball down. That's what you have to do. Watch here. You look at the quarterback's eyes. You can't get to him. You raise that hand, and you make sure you get a block.
And it was Ty Morris, the linebacker we talked with yesterday. And how about the energy and the celebration after? He made a point to tell us that they brought more energy in practice in 3rd down situations this week. They're able to show that in a game here today. Tyson Thompson on the return to the 25. So Rice up 10-7, and the Owls have the ball back.
at 215 pounds, also a much bigger back, but has some explosiveness as well.
Feed it to him again. And Alexander is hit by Parham right at the line of scrimmage.
Really nice job by Parham of coming off a block and just meeting him in the hole. 14 tackles last week, 2 sacks. Watch 6 here. Just doing a nice job of scraping off their weight and boom. When you play linebacker, you're used to what running backs do because a lot of those guys have played that position, so they want to come downhill and meet you on the other side. Parham with a really nice tackle there.
Rice just converted 3rd and 10. How about 3rd and 3? Jenkins pulls it, and he gets waylaid. UConn getting home like they have all year. Stephon Wright, who played last year just 4 miles down the road at Texas Southern with the sack.
Well, you try to hide if you chase Jenkins, but Stephon Rice back in Houston, not far away from here, making a play on this Rice Stadium field. Really nice job. And what you have to do is when they throw the ball, they were trying to do that little pop pass, you better get to them.
And Baketta boots it. Harper, fair catch. Just inside the 25. A 40-yard punt by Baketta. Well, UConn has punted each of their last 3 possessions after they opened with that 80-yard touchdown pass from Joe Fignano to Skylar Bell. What do you want to see right now from UConn?
Stop pressing, run the football. I know you want to go with 2. He's your guy, but get this offense comfortable. And then also, too, if you're getting 3rd and long or 3rd and medium, do some boot action to move him away from the trouble that Rice is able to bring with 5 or 6.
And out of the pistol. I think they heard you. Cam Edwards slithering close to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, the healthy dose for a struggling offense always is run the football, especially when you have guys in this offensive line in this spread or wide zone that they like to run with.
Again, Edwards to the short side of the field, and this time not as successful.
Right, nice job by the Rice defensive front of not giving him any running room there. Now, watch, when you want to run wide zone, you want to push people out, but there's nowhere to push. Those guys are just holding tight and making sure you cannot find any run lane.
Connecticut 1 of 4 on 3rd down. They face a 3rd and 4. Rice brings 5. Fignano connects with Skylar Bell for the first down into Rice territory. It's a gain of 21.
Omari Porter was in great position, but Skylar Bell does what a good receiver does. You don't go up until the last minute and you show those hands and you attack the football. Nice job.
Play action on 1st down. And Fignano's pass is caught. A leaping grab by John Nider, the former walk-on who had his first career touchdown last week, picks up 15.
Ted, I didn't think he had any chance of catching that. Now they're running tempo. Really nice job by Nider of going up and climbing the ladder.
Fignano does throw it to the flat after all, after the pump. And it's Raymello Murphy with a nominal gain.
This offense has been really predicated on wide zone and doing some other things, boot action to get him out. What did we say? But look at this catch. Great hands by the former walk-on. Had 2 last week, 14 on the year, first touchdown. Young man starting to show himself. 6'2", 205 out of Milford, Connecticut.
Was on the scout team a year ago, and Jim Moore's wife, Kathy, told Jim one night before bed, you really should play John Nider more.
Hey, coaches' wives, no.
Now the screen, and Jackson Harper has nowhere to go. Tackled at the line of scrimmage.
Ted, they're around the program, and you made me laugh because Terry Donahue's wife, Andrea Donahue, used to always say her pillow talk had to help us in certain situations. Rest her soul. She just passed away not too long ago, and I used to love talking to Coach Donahue or Miss Donahue, who just was so good about all of us. We felt like she was part of our family.
On 3rd and 8. Running it with Edwards, might set up a 4th down, go for it situation for Connecticut. And Edwards takes it inside the 30. It'll be 4th and short for the Huskies.
And now you're kind of getting that momentum change, and you're also keeping Rice's offense on the sideline. And this is where you, what did they say? They said in almost any situation, we can pick up a 4th and short, right? Well, here's your opportunity to do it.
UConn 7 of 11 on 4th down this year. Offense stays out there on 4th and 3. Vignano on target. The tight end picking up the 1st down to the 20-yard line. It's Alex Honig.
Yeah, he's a guy that just, you look at his body. Bruce Feldman says he's on that freak list. Catches the ball well, was a TCU transfer. I love watching this tight end group, but he is one of those guys that can turn and just look at the physicality. You got to bring everybody to bring his big guy down.
6'7", 270 with a 36-inch vertical. Didn't need it there, but that's just absurd. 1st down, Vignano to the safety valve and Edwards. And up the sideline, close to the 1st down. He's marked out at the 11.
Yeah, Vignano did a really nice job of holding everybody on the inside to the last second. He knows his check down is on the outside. This is what a 7th-year guy can do. And they're going tempo. They're going to get Rice with a penalty.
Boy, Rice was shuffling on late there.
They were upset, though, because they said they had a substitution. We should be allowed the same. Scott Abel was really upset with that.
And instead, the timeout granted for Rice as we approach the 2-minute timeout here in this 1st half. When Florida had the coming in with an injury, he fought.
Team that was
convert, Memphis winning 34-31. Edwards
was just tough and we'll get it done
there, but it was declined out. Well, UConn is on the doorstep here. Just before halftime, looking to reclaim the lead here in Houston.
Can control the clock, and this has been a really good drive for them to attack this Rice defense.
UConn chasing a 5th consecutive win, and a chance to become bowl eligible before November. Vignano, a leap, and incomplete. John Nider coming down out of bounds.
Yeah, Jarek Harper on the defense there. Number 5, getting an opportunity, the junior out of Silsbee. Nice job of pulling that out at the last second. Playing all the way to the ground.
Well, apparently they added 9 seconds. We have not hit the 2-minute timeout after all. That was a result of the penalty called against Rice before we stepped aside. Vignano's pass broken up, and a flag this time as Vignano was once again aiming for Nider. Omari Porter had the coverage for Rice.
Yeah, Omari Porter.
Rice promised more pressure from their defense out of the bye week. Let's see if they dial something up here on 3rd and goal from the 12. Here they come. Vignano to Edwards for the touchdown. Vignano beats the blitz with a 12-yard touchdown to his back. Cam Edwards, and UConn is back on top.
When they bring pressure, usually you speed up. Vignano slowed down. He looked inside, knew when the pressure was coming, and he just takes his time. He sees it and knows it's there, but then Cam Edwards is outside, no one covering, a bus. And if you have 6 coming, there has to be somebody to take the back, and if they don't, that's where you beat them. Nice job by that UConn offense. I respect Rice, though. I love what they're doing. They're forcing. They're saying, look, if you're going to beat us, we're going to bring everything at you. We may call people out of the stands to come out.
Boy, that extra point just sneaks through. Earlier in the season, just a couple of weeks ago, Rice might have needed people out of the stands, considering all the injuries on defense.
defensively they're stepping up, and they're making it hard for UConn, and that gives their offense a chance to do some different things.
But that really was an important drive for Connecticut after they had gotten a little stagnant offensively in the middle of this first half.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what you have to do. You have to find ways, and UConn knew this. When talking to their staff, they said, these guys are going to be ready. They're not going to play like they played the last time we saw them. You know, they knew that. And Rice has been one of those teams that has just been, you know, determined and tough. That's what Jim Mora has built for his team. And remember, they've gone through what Rice is trying to do now, so he understands it. He says, hey, I don't want them to play well now. He said, but I have a lot of respect for what they're doing over there.
Yeah, Morris said it. You can see what Rice can become with Scott Abel. But once again, it's a journey. It just takes a little bit of time. All that said, Rice ultra competitive out of the bye, and after that 61-13 beatdown 2 weeks ago. Freeman sends it away. And so Rice with one timeout in the back pocket will start from the 25.
Well, I really love what Scott Abel said, too, when we talked to him about failure, being a baseball player. He was a catcher, right? Catchers are the quarterback. They call everything. They do everything. And what he said was so profound in the way of, you know, I just said, hey, baseball is a game of failure. And he said, yeah, it is. But you learn how to work through it. You learn how to just get through it and get to the other side.
That's okay. That's okay. Yeah. Football, he says, was always his first love. He was just a better baseball player and was in the Kansas City Royals organization as a minor leaguer before he became a coach. Jenkins taking a shot. And Quentin Jackson has it. He steps out of a tackle, and he's got another long touchdown, this time from 75 yards.
UConn, you got explosives, so do we. Q Jackson, Action Jackson today. I saw this coming from up here. They faked him the ball, they put him in a one-on-one situation, and man, he is having a game. That rest paid off well. Watch the fake here. He's gonna sneak out. And there's one guy on that side that has to cover him. And even everybody was fooled pretty much, except Quentin Jackson, knowing I have this ball, I'm going to take it again to the house.
And Goda with the extra point. We're having some technical difficulties with our score bug. Rice reclaiming the lead at 17-14 over Connecticut with 1:35 to go in this first half.
Well, what you have is a play fake and a quarterback he's feeling so much better now. And then Quentin Jackson is just going to get out there. Look at all the eye candy, but it's one guy he has to beat. And he sees Pringle, knows I got him, but I'm hesitating, and Quentin Jackson runs right by him. There's no safety help because the ball is going to get down there. Beautiful throw by Chase Jenkins of allowing him to get down the field, but Pringle's eyes didn't. I love what their defensive back coordinator said, Matt Brock, eye transfer. His eyes didn't transfer to the place that he needed to be, and that's why he was beat on that play.
This Rice offense, when it is calibrated well, like honestly it has been for most of this first half, you see the stress that it puts on a defense, the deception at play every single snap.
You have to always be ready. Whenever you talk to
out of bounds at the 42-yard. Who would have said that? But UConn clicking it down the field here, and again, plenty of time, 1:08 to go, and again, all three timeouts. And they run it with Victor Rosa. And Rosa slashes for the first down inside the 35.
Really good job by Rosa and this offensive line getting back into their wide zone principles. He talked about it. The offensive coordinator, Alex Gibbs, he watched a lot of his tape. Bill Walsh, all those principles of getting out, stretching, and then running downhill.
Now under a minute to play in the half. Fignano, open target. It's Juice Vereen. Another touchdown for Vereen. 34 yards. The breakout continues.
When you have so many weapons, you just know if somebody is there, just get them the ball. Juice Vereen has been the guy the last few weeks that has just really come on the scene in this passing offense. Number 11 to the side there is just going to get lost, just like earlier. But Harper there is not in position. That's his guy, but he just lets him go. And this is what Juice Farina has done the last couple of weeks. Been open like that.
Trouble with the play clock here. 49 seconds to play in the half, and UConn seizing the lead again at 20-17.
Got an offensive breakout here.
Huskies have the ball to start the second half. Terrence Smith trying to go east and west, and he doesn't make it past the 15. Great coverage by Rice.
Got to have guys that can get down the field. Nice job there.
UConn has done so much damage through the years. We check out the stats from the first half. Joe Fignano is just lighting it up again. He's got 3 touchdowns through the air. You saw all of them there.
See those guys creeping up.
Here comes the blitz up the middle, and Fignano hits Skylar Bell. Found the vacated area, Buck, and it's a first down inside the Rice 45. Still going is Skylar Bell.
Been doing your football homework, Ted. I like it. Wherever that vacated area, that's the place you throw to. Fignano knew it. As soon as he sees it, get rid of the ball right there. And he's able to, and even the rusher is trying to block a coverage there. Redshirt freshman out of Missouri City. I know that area.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense number 73. 15-yard penalty enforcing the previous spot. The down counts. It's now 4th down.
Oh, man. So it's on the center, Wes Ho, and UConn is backed up even more out of Rice territory on 4th down.
Yeah, those are been a pretty penalty-free game, but that's a key one against Wes Ho.
And UConn was right on the edge of Chris Freeman's field goal range without that penalty.
No win today, 50 to 55 to 57 yards if he can. And Jim Moore, I know he's upset.
Instead, Connor Stutz has to punt. Trying to hang it up. And the fair catch by Thompson inside the 10. Well done by Stutz. A 44-yard punt, pinning Rice inside the 10.
Rice defense has just found ways to get their offense the ball back. When their offense has had it, they've made some really key plays. Again, now we see Quentin Jackson back in the game.
And Jackson, the 73-yard touchdown run, 75-yard touchdown reception in the first half. Did not play the last series, walked off gingerly the drive before. He's got the ball. He's not walking gingerly now. He's got a first down. Out across the 25-yard line. A gain of 17.
You know, it's almost like I don't think they realize how fast he is. And like you said, the fresh legs are coming back. But this offensive line does. Look how they get out in front of him, give him some opportunities, and then when he hits the hole, he's very decisive. Love the patience, but I love the explosion when he has an opportunity to get into open field. Cam Chadwick pushing him out of bounds.
Now Jenkins keeps it. And Jenkins plowing for a couple to the 28. You know, when we sat down with Quentin Jackson yesterday, we asked him about his experience as a quarterback in high school at North Crowley near Fort Worth. And he said it's helped him from a leadership perspective, but also being able to read a defense. And you see that play out on the field.
Yeah, I mean, really good running backs generally have a tendency to understand where they need to be and where their blockers are going to be and how the defense is going to defend them. And that's what he's so good at.
Jackson up the gut. And another first down for Rice to the 38-yard line.
But the orbit motion also does what it's supposed to do, because when you have that, it moves those linebackers over and it allows Jackson to get in position really quickly to make a run.
Now Rice going up tempo here in the final minute of the third quarter. Once again, Hickman, the motion man. They feed it to Jackson. And Quentin Jackson bangs to the 42.
And sometimes they'll stay with the same play. That motion, that orbit motion, will move people over, and it gives Jackson an opportunity to find some spots.
How do you react to that if you're a defensive player?
You can't overreact to the motion to make sure you're in position so when that run comes at you, you're there in that position as well. They have to make the adjustment and make sure that their safety, the second and third level, is coming down at the right angle too.
Now Jenkins diving to the 45. It'll be 3rd and 3 for Rice when we start the 4th quarter from Houston. Rice started this drive inside their 10, on the move, down a touchdown at home, trying to put a stop to a 3-game losing streak. On to the 4th quarter, Rice facing 3rd and 3. DeAndre Hardiman Jr. blasting ahead into UConn territory to the 38. The true freshman from North Shore High School here in Houston picks up 17.
Yeah, Quentin Jackson has worked on the belly of that interior defensive area for UConn, and now you have Hardiman coming in and really making some plays.
His dad with the same name, scored 30 touchdowns in his career at Texas A&M in the mid-90s. DeAndre Hardiman Jr. now here at Rice. And Hardiman grinds for 3 more.
It's come really good job on that interior by the offensive line.
Well, Buck, this day belongs to Quentin Jackson. Hardiman's the number 3 running back for Rice. He's making big plays. The spread option has come to life for Rice, and Joe Fignano always alive for UConn. Another 300-yard passing day and 3 touchdowns. 8th play of the drive for the Owls. Hardiman again, off the spin, taking shots, and Hardiman is down to the 30 to bring up 3rd and a couple.
Again, really good job by this offensive line of pulling and getting in front, allowing Hardiman or Jackson or Alexander or whoever's running to get some positive yards and put it in 3rd and short. Now you have so many different options when you have this kind of situation.
They feed Hardiman again, showing that triple option. Jenkins gave it to him, and it's a 1st down for Rice.
Defensive line is moving a little bit slower. Even those linebackers who are trying to get in there and stop some of that bleeding. And this is where Rice just starts to lean on you. They're taking their time, not having to rush, using clock, but also churning yards.
Now Jenkins hit right at the line, wrapped up.
It's Brian Parham. Started out at San Jose State, UW, and then UConn. Watch 6 here coming to your screen. In the hole, and just fills it again. With a little bit of help from his buddy, Diomande. Linebackers always kind of compete to see who can get the most tackles. I think they got a half, or they'll figure that one out.
That one. Both have been big playmakers all year for UConn. Now how about this look? The pitch to Dickman. Field opening up. Ball got popped out, but Dickman out to the 10-yard line for Rice. 1st and goal after the 16-yard run.
They kept going to that side, and all of a sudden just add a little wrinkle with Dickman coming back around. And that is where you have guys out in front able to block for you. Really good block there by Hardiman. At the end, good job by this offensive line and the crew of blocking.
1st and goal. Hardiman inside the 5, a stiff arm, and a trip to the end zone for his 1st career touchdown.
Rice is feeling it. Devin Pringle had an opportunity in the hole, but Hardiman looking like his daddy, running hard. True to the name of Hardiman. Now watch 2 come in the screen. He has to make this tackle in the hole. He doesn't. Hardiman with the spin job, able to just get by Brinson and the rest of the crew to get in the end zone.
Right down the road, Hardiman was a star at one of the powerhouse high school programs in the state of Texas, the North Shore Mustangs. And now he helps Rice tie the game. His 1st career touchdown here at Rice from 10 yards out. We're tied at 24. Yawn, light work from DeAndre Hardiman Jr. That has put more on the shoulders of Joe Fignano, and Fignano is more than up to the task. 302 yards, 3 touchdowns. He still hasn't thrown a pick this year.
It's amazing.
And down a tie game, 4th quarter, this is exactly what he would ask for.
Exactly. Big win last week over Boston College. Week before, FIU. Really started turning the corner after the Buffalo game, they felt.
Put Fignano on the move, and he hits Lewis Hanson, and Hanson gets smacked. Short gain on the play. Marcus Williams in there.
You can't play defense without enthusiasm and effort. Marcus Williams is going to show you some effort. Lewis Hanson, a much bigger guy, but number 4 just came out of Hoover, Alabama, came with the wood.
Running room here for Oliver Lundberg Coleman, the redshirt freshman from Sweden, bursting for 18 on his first carry of the game.
Great run and tempo now for UConn.
Feed the freshman. Lundberg Coleman picks up 2 more.
One good thing that Rice is doing is usually when you see that wide zone, all of the linemen are on the same level. But every time today, it's always been one guy getting pushed back, and that's not where you want to be because the running back can't go around it and he can't find that cut lane that he's looking for. Rice has done a really nice job defensively of going against that wide zone and just disrupting it.
That previous run by Lundberg Coleman, by far the longest run of the game. Before, the longest run was 8 yards for UConn. Fignano launches. Incomplete, nobody home. Nider the closest.
They wanted Nider, but way long. No one back there. But again, the coverage. Secondary is healthier than they have been, and Fignano, even though he hasn't thrown any interceptions, has not always been on point. And this is where Rice has dialed up 5 to 6 guys coming. Let's see if they do it again.
Third and 7 for Connecticut. Just a 3-man rush. Playing coverage, Fignano underneath. Juice Marine gets depleted at the 49. Joe Chavez has had a big game today for Rice. It's 4th down.
When you don't come with pressure, you only rush 3 and drop 8. This is what you want. You don't mind them catching the ball, but when they catch it, you're going to make them pay. Nice job by Chavez of playing where he needs to be, knowing where he needs to be, and bringing the hammer. This Rice defense now is kind of woken up.
Now, what did Ty Morris tell us yesterday in practice? They made sure to focus on celebrating their wins. Just in practice, they wanted to bring that energy to the field today. They're doing it. Stutz, another good-looking punt, forcing Tyson Thompson to call for the fair catch. 39-yard kick. One more look at the big hit by Joe Chavez on Juice Farine. Tie game, Rice has it back.
To have a big game from Quentin Jackson. Okay, well, let me do it in the run game. Breaking tackles, taking it to the house, just showing you versatility, and then coming back on the long pass. Out of the backfield, he's going to sneak through there, and then all of a sudden, deep play. 3 catches for 80 yards and a long of 75. 12 carries for 127 yards. That's what you need to have out of number 10, Jackson, who just has another carry.
Jackson out across the 15. Rice starting from the 12 in a tie game. They just went 91 yards for a touchdown the last time they had the ball, 88 yards away to start this one. Yeah, Quentin Jackson, Scott Abel told us yesterday, I really wondered when I took over, could he at his size be big enough to handle a workload? It's like he plays bigger than he really is.
When you get to meet him, you talk to him, he's kind of soft-spoken, but when he gets in between these lines, you can see he turns it on.
Jenkins rifles. That is knocked down by Brian Parham.
Parham wants that one back. He knows he has a chance from the LBC, Long Beach Poly. A lot of great Bruins I played with back in the day. Chucky Miller, Dennis Price, Brian Parham, though, all you got to do is grab it. I had the chance to pull that one away. Mercedes Lewis, bunch of LB.
How many people
guys.
Do you know from Long Beach?
It was a lot of them.
I know you played at UCLA.
Some of them went over across the way, but the ones that came over were some good players.
3rd and 6. The pitch to Jackson. Oh, is he going to throw it? No, he is wrestled down in the backfield. He's looking downfield. Jackson, the former quarterback in high school, for a second was looking, but instead, Brian Parham ends up with it. It's a stop for UConn.
Yeah, he was setting something up, but watch UConn's defense just sniff it out. Jackson wants to bend down, but he has nowhere to go with the football. Good coverage all the way around, and then Parham comes up, and the rest of the guys join him.
Now, Parham ended up with the football, but he had already tackled Jackson. So nice stop for UConn defensively, and UConn's going to end up with outstanding field position after this short punt. Under 8 to play here in Houston. Tie game. Joe Fignano and the Huskies back to work. Takes over in a tie game from the Rice 45, and Cam Edwards, who we haven't seen last few drives, stumbles ahead inside the 40. Yeah, what's on the line for UConn? Yes, a 5th straight win, but also a chance to already wrap up bowl eligibility. It would be the 3rd time in 4 years under Mora, as a man is down for Rice and the trainers come out onto the field. Before Mora took over, UConn had gone to 1 bowl game in 10 seasons.
That's incredible when you think about that.
So a man down for Rice, and oh, by the way, now the rain is coming down here in Houston.
We knew there was a window of opportunity. Really bad storms late last night, and now you're seeing the other round of that.
Tony Ayenyenwu, the rush linebacker, now on his feet for Rice. Really one of the best players on that side for the Owls. And hopefully for Rice, he'll be back in soon. Didn't need any help getting to the sideline.
Talked about him with a high motor and a guy that they want to have in this game, especially against a passer like Fignano.
Edwards again, dashing for the first down inside the 35.
Bring Edwards in. This offensive line now has found something in that interior, and they're attacking it.
Edwards has been quiet for the most part today, now up to 39 yards on 11 carries. He's been UConn's leading rusher each of the last 3 seasons. Once again, Edwards trying to bend it to the outside, and great pursuit by Marcus Williams.
That Rice defense there was just nasty. Nowhere for Cam Edwards to go. You're going to see push back here because there's pressure, then one hit there, and then another. Levante Johnson comes in, and Marcus Williams cleans it up.
Loss of 4 yards on the play. We tick down close to 6 minutes remaining in regulation. Rain has subsided now just for a moment. Victor Rosa with the catch. And to the 30-yard line to bring up a better 3rd down situation for UConn. They'll need 7.
It's one of those situations where Rosa is in position. He does a nice job of securing the catch after the rain. Stops him from getting extra yards, but secures the catch and picks up some yards so they can be in 3rd and more manageable. Last few times, Rice has come with 3 and dropped 8. Let's see what they do here.
Murphy motions out. Rice brings 3 again into the flat. Murphy takes a shot. It's Peyton Stevenson, the 5th-year senior. And it's 4th down for Connecticut. Chris Freeman will come on to try for 3 in the lead.
A really nice play by this defense. They show you what they're going to do, and if you throw the ball, it gets you a better situation, but still a pretty long field goal.
A 46-yarder, again with the rain just now coming down. Freeman hit from 45 earlier in the half. This from 46, and this didn't have a chance. Freeman slipped. So his school record field goal streak comes to an end at 12, and the game remains tied at 24.
That's the second time he slipped. The other time it was just doesn't hit it clean and doesn't get his footing.
Yet he made that extra point when he slipped earlier. This is a far different ask from 46 yards. In the elements, the slick turf, and the frustration is evident. Can you blame him?
Now Rice with a chance with 4:51.
And Quentin Jackson squeezing ahead to the 32 for a gain of 4.
Jackson picks up 4 yards.
A lot of their success has been in that interior of the defensive line. They found something that they're going to, and it's been consistent.
You know, Buck, you talk about 4-minute offense. I mean, the game is tied here, but Rice would love this kind of situation to just march down the field.
Touchdown with no extra.
Reese, appreciate the breakdown here in Houston. Ted Emmerich, Charles Arbuckle, Smacker Miles, our entire crew off to overtime, tied at 24. UConn winning the coin toss, of course, electing to play defense first to see what they need on their possession. And Rice begins with Chase Jenkins, who's back in the lineup after his ankle injury a couple of weeks ago, and a nice gain on first down, pickup of 6.
Looks like he almost turned the wrong way in that play and still was able to pick up positive yards.
Rice needed him back in the worst way. He's been efficient as a passer and a big threat on the ground as well. On 2nd and 4, Quentin Jackson muscling ahead for the first down inside the 15. What a game he has had. He lost his helmet in the process. He's going to have to come out for a play.
Quentin Jackson again. Look at that interior line blocking. He just sees a gap. He can he's so short in stature that you don't see him, and then all of a sudden he comes out on the other side. Some physicality as well.
More than 200 yards from scrimmage for Jackson today, but he's got to exit after losing his helmet. And DeAndre Hardiman Jr., the true freshman, who tied the game with his first career touchdown, is in there now. And here is Hardiman, banging for a couple down to the 12.
Hardiman is one of those guys that runs the ball effective for them. See Jackson coming right back in.
Jackson 137 yards rushing and a touchdown, 80 yards receiving and another score. Now the option. Jenkins keeps it and a hurdle down close to the 5.
Every time you think you have Jenkins or Alexander or Hardiman and Jackson in particular, they're in position, right? But he just turns and finds just the angle. Lee Mollett is coming down, and he's able to still pick up some of those positive yards.
3rd and a yard for Rice. Jackson struggling, reaching out. It's a touchdown. Quentin Jackson would not be denied here at overtime.
Trifecta for the young man. He has just been so effective today. And again, look at the blue jerseys push. Look at that push up front and just enough blocking. He knows he has one man to beat, and he's able to do that right there. They may look at this.
And forget about as long as that ball crosses the plane, we're checking the knees here. Doesn't matter that that ball pops out after. Once you break that plane, that white paint on the turf, play is over. It's a touchdown, assuming the knee is not down here before he crosses the plane.
Thigh, and from that angle, it looks like it's crossed, but I can't tell you. It looks like he had enough there. Now, here's the other thing.
Come on, Brinson.
Again, how many of these tackles has he been involved in?
And seemingly all of them against Quentin Jackson in the open field.
From that angle, it looked like the ball crossed the plane before his thigh went down.
Got to protect the viewfinder in the rain. Looks like a quick review for Tim Rich.
After reviewing the ruling on the field is upheld. Touchdown.
So it is a touchdown. And Rice has the lead.
But again, extra points have been tricky with the slippage on the field.
I remember for Chris Freeman of UConn, he slipped at this end and still converted. Enoch Goda knocks it through. So a 31-24 lead for Rice here in the first overtime. And UConn knows exactly what they need. Down a touchdown.
This is why you play. You can talk about what it looks like on paper and everything else, but when you show up, this is what you have to do. This Rice team clearly was in a much better position this week than they were last time we saw them.
Joe Fignano has cobbled together another 300-yard passing day, plus 3 more touchdowns.
They're going to have to rely on his arm again here in this overtime.
In his 7th year of college football, and 25 years old, hoping to lead UConn to new heights before the end of his career. The overtime possession starts with the run by Edwards down to the 21, a gain of 4.
Can't say enough about this Rice defense either. Second half, neither team, I mean, both defenses really showed me something in the second half.
Again, it was a 21-17 Connecticut lead at the half. Explosion after explosion from both offenses. And just a couple of scores in the second half combined. Now Fignano all alone in the gun. And the screen. Inside the 10. And a big play there for UConn. And Terrence Smith, the return man, goes for 15 to match his number.
You have 2 blockers in front, both tight ends, and Terrence Smith with a really nice catch and run after that.
So 1st and goal for UConn. Again, the Huskies can wrap up a bowl bid with the win today. It would be their 5th consecutive win after a 1-2 start. Edwards probing. He is in, standing up for the touchdown. A quick response by UConn here in OT.
Good job by Edwards working and then attacking the hole.
And by the way, Chris Freeman and the extra point unit coming out to tie the game and send it to a 2nd overtime. Remember, he slipped on that extra point earlier in the game. He finds his footing here, and we're tied at 31, going to overtime number 2. After not much scoring in the second half, how about a touchdown for each side in the first overtime? Well, Chris Freeman slipped on an extra point earlier in the game. How about the job of Connor Stutz? Wipe it down where you're going to place the football and where Freeman has to plant to let it fly. Well done by that unit, and off we go to the second overtime.
He has multiple things to do there. He's a holder. He has to catch the ball, but he has to make sure he wipes on and wipes off to make sure Freeman has a clean area.
Wipe on, wipe off. Where have I heard that before? Second overtime starts with UConn in possession. Fignano wants it all. Incomplete. Off the fingertips of Raymello Murphy.
Yeah, he had Raymello Murphy there. Scored a little long. Just a little long. And again, you score here, you go for two. So your two-point conversions, you got to have your best ones ready. Most teams have some in their back pocket, but you don't want to keep going through that overtime to use all of them up.
And of course, if you head to the third overtime, then it just becomes a 2-point off. Second and 10. Screen for Edwards, and he is submarined by Marcus Williams after a short gain. 3rd and 7 coming up.
Just like Brinson on the back end for UConn, we've called Marcus Williams' name, or Joe Chavez. One of those two has been around.
What do you look for on 3rd and 8?
Well, you got to get that first down. And if you don't, you're going to go for it. So do something where you can take advantage. You got one-on-one up there. You got a receiver where he can catch it and turn it into a first down.
Morris on the blitz, picked up by Edwards, but Fignano still affected. Hit as he threw it, incomplete. How about Ty Morris fighting through that block?
Ty Morris told us he was going to be all over the field, and he is. I mean, he has not been denied today.
So a 41-yard try for Chris Freeman. Once again, Stutz wiping down the turf for the lead in the second overtime. Freeman can start a new streak. 34-31 Connecticut.
And now if you're UConn, mission critical for your defense not to allow the touchdown, the walk-off for Rice.
Chase Jenkins jogs back out there. Very different sight from 2 weeks ago in the Alamo Dome when he had to limp off with an ankle injury. He has been money here today.
Throwing the ball effectively to his weapons. 15 of 19 on the day, 172 yards, 1 touchdown.
Give it to Quentin Jackson. And Jackson pushes for a couple.
Q Jack has been phenomenal today. Clearly the rest did him well, getting healthy and everything else. But the offensive linemen coming back from last week, though, when they haven't had those guys getting healthy as well. David Stickle is a key component of that, the center.
A touchdown wins it for Rice here in the second OT. Jackson breaking free! Quentin Jackson calls game with a 23-yard touchdown!
Wow.
Quentin Jackson's 4th touchdown today seals it for Rice. A signature win in their first year under Coach Scott Abel as they knock off UConn 37-34 in double overtime.
You fight, claw, and scratch. I talked about this offensive line. Look at that push there, and then 2 guys to beat. Quentin Jackson has been doing it all day. And it doesn't surprise me that he does it there. Look at that blocking. Tight ends, they got offensive linemen who have come back healthy. And what does it do? It makes a healthy day and a healthy dose of touchdowns for Quentin Jackson. Small but mighty.
Downstairs to Smacker.
Hugh Jack, walk me through that final play.
We call it an RPO. Trust is coach gave you trust to run the ball. Made one guy miss. We needed this win. That's all I could think about, just getting this win for my team. We've been through a lot of hardships.